Side of diabolical. Hey, we are live on the internet for
Mhm.
episode 67 of
My
Slurp Toast,
God.
a podcast. Yeah, we're inching ever and ever closer to the 12-year-old's favorite episode in about a month.
Yeah, yeah. It's that picture of that place in Minnesota, Beaver Flicks, yeah.
Oh, or last night when I was flipping around and Oregon State was playing Colorado, and the front of their jersey says Beavs. Beavs. I'm like, what? Who? Why?
You know what? With Oregon and the Nike thing, I think they've just run out of ideas.
Yeah, but that's not. It wasn't the Ducks. It was the Beavers. It was
Oh, it
Oregon
was the
State.
Beavs. Okay. Hmm.
It just big orange letters right across the chest plate. Beavs.
Which would be great if Colorado was wearing their buff.
Beavs in the buff. What?
Beavs in the buff
Hello.
and the Merkin Bowl. Anyway,
Well done, sir. Well done.
there we go. There we go.
I'm writing down live from the Merkin Bowl just for fun.
Just for fun. You know what? Why not? Because we're actually going to do a sports related.
That's
Oh, wait a
right.
minute. Oh, wait a minute. I like
What?
this
Have you not
accident, but I'm
noticed?
wearing chicharrones and you've got the mariachis.
Yes.
Nice.
Did you not notice that before now? And it was
No,
completely
only when you lean
accidental.
forward did I
We
saw
did
it.
not plan this.
No,
I just
no.
realized my forehead was glowy, so I grabbed a hat. So yeah, yesterday we got our Comic Con tickets. That was kind of exciting. Thank you again for being 9 minutes in the queue.
I know something that we don't talk about with the like when I go on the Funko boards. I got this. I got this. I'm like, oh, man, I was in and out in 15 minutes.
Yeah, that was amazing.
When that thing popped up and said you've got like 19 minutes in the queue, it was like, I'm getting all the days. We're getting everything we want.
It's a Cinderella story.
Cinderella story.
So
Comes
for
out of
those of
nowhere.
you who are watching and don't know how this process works, right? So to get tickets to San Diego Comic Con is a big ordeal.
Yeah, that's
They
being
do it.
nice.
They do it in two bunches, right? They do returning purchasers, which was us yesterday,
Hmm.
and then they hold out some portion of it for new people. I don't know what that portion is. It can't be much. Um,
You got to wonder what the ratio is,
I do
because
actually very much wonder.
is it like 90% are returns or 60, or I mean, because they've got to recognize that if they don't have some kind of churn in there, you know,
Yeah,
uh,
do they though?
it's
Do
entirely
they?
possible. No,
I
being
mean,
that we've been
let's
around nerds who organize events.
let's think about this just from our historical perspective, right? So the first time you and I went was 1997,
Hmm.
and we drove up, walked up, and bought tickets.
And walked right
Well,
in,
yeah,
and they're like
and
10
we
bucks,
could
20
breathe, and
bucks.
we could breathe
Yeah.
all day.
Mhm.
Now it's this whole process where you have to create an online ID, go through. For returning members, there's a waiting room you have to log into. Then they throw you into some randomized queue, allegedly
Mhm.
randomized, and then from there you sit and wait until
Your number comes
your
up.
your number comes up, literally. And we had, I think between us, we had 7 devices open yesterday, and five of the seven were at over an hour at start,
Mhm.
and one was at 30 minutes, and one was lucky number 19. And so we were able to get in and get out, thankfully. But yeah, and then there's a later, like I said, later there's a second batch of sales for people who aren't returning members, and that's where I do wonder how they calculate that churn, because you're right, there has to be some drop off in return every year. And how do they account for that? I'd love to interview somebody about that.
That would be interesting. Yeah, it's like, yeah, you guys aren't giving away trade secret here. It's just an event. I mean, are you trying to like, oh, we sell 95% of the tickets at the return, which would then kind of take a little to shine off of that open registration?
Yeah, it would definitely make it brutal, for
Mhm.
sure.
Have 100,000 people competing for 10,000 tickets. And I also wonder what the number of tickets are.
Yeah, I mean,
in
I'm sure
total,
that.
because they always say that 200,000 people descend upon the
Yeah, but that
city.
doesn't mean they all get in because there's
No, it doesn't
always
mean they all
stuff going on outside.
true, but you gotta figure that they get that number from somewhere, and I bet Comic-Con just says, "Oh, we sold, 200,000 passes," you know?
Over the course of four and a
But it's
half
a course of 4 and a
days,
half days, so it's 50,000 a day.
it's probably not 50,000 for preview night.
No, because you have to buy all the days,
Yeah.
and I'm
So
pretty sure that, like, if I was, had young children, I'd only be doing, like a Saturday or Friday and Saturday or something like that,
yeah,
you know?
and don't they kind of like orient Sunday's programming to kids so that they try to make that the family day?
I think
I've
it's
never
more of
I've
a
never
family.
stayed for Sunday, so I
Well,
don't know.
I've gone down and I've walked in, and typically by Sunday, I walk in, I look around, I take a deep breath, and like, yeah, I'm just gonna go back to the room. I got late checkout.
That's fair. That's
Mhm.
fair.
I'm just gonna go have breakfast at the Monster Waffle place or something. I just that last day, man, you
Well, it's a lot to get to Sunday. There's a lot of steps. There's a lot of proximity. There's just a
mhm,
lot.
there's a lot. By the time Sunday rolls around, if you're still into it, you're probably on cocaine
Well, or
or
Adderall. I
meth.
think that's yeah, meth. Yeah, there's probably a
Yeah,
fair
if you're
amount
yeah,
of
if you're
meth. Right?
yeah, because I can tell you, if you drink every night, by Sunday, you're pretty used up.
Are you? Is that the voice of experience, buddy?
I'm just saying, I know some people, and yeah, I can tell you by Sunday morning, because I always fight with that schedule. It's like, do I go? If I plan my flight for 3, then I could go into the show, then go back to the room, and then go to the hotel, be at the airport by 1, and then and that means that the doors open at 10. So I'm thinking I'm actually going to spend like 2 hours on the floor, but by that time, I've probably bought everything I want. Um, I've seen people, the friends that I've got who are working booths, I've seen them all. I'm not staying to have, quiet dinner plans with everybody Sunday night who are staying until Monday. So
How does
yeah,
that work? Is that just like people that just want to stay for through Sunday and then take off from there?
yeah, pretty much. I mean, I've got, friends who work the booths, so they've
Right.
got to
Okay.
be there
That
Sunday.
sure.
And then I got friends who will fly down. I don't know. Did you meet my buddy Corey?
I'm not sure if I
From
did or not.
anyway, he typically takes that as like a. He used to work the booth, and then he also sometimes works the prize patrol at Fun Days.
Okay.
And so a lot of times he'll take the whole week off, and that'll be just like his own personal private, vacation.
Hmm.
And he'll go to San Diego for 4 or 5 days and stay a week and stuff. Um, I got some friends from here that will stay that extra night and do the quiet dinner. But it's just kind of like you sort of like, man, everybody's used up. I mean, it'd be
Yeah.
nice to like do a light day at the con and then
You'd have
go.
to start like Friday instead of Wednesday for that to make any sense.
For you to be worth a damn, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
'Cause-
Because I mean, even when we were going for Gonzo Geek, by the time, because then we were doing Wednesday night stuff and
mhm.
like every night stuff, and by the time Saturday afternoon, evening rolled around, I was done. The thought of going
Oh yeah,
back was like just no.
yeah. You walk up to those doors and your body's just like, huh? Nope, 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 nope. We're done. We're done. Go home.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, all right.
So
So
anyway,
that,
we're going back. Yay, us.
yay us. Exactly.
Told my wife, it's like, here we go. First steps down. Got the tickets. She goes, what's next? I go, hotel rooms. She goes, okay. Well, why don't you just do that now? I'm like, no, no, no. There's a thing where I can get
It's
a
a thing.
discount on a hotel
It's
room.
true.
I'm so tempted to like, and I almost did it last year when we were leaving.
Uh-huh.
Is just basically, I knew the dates and I was thinking, I was like, I ought to just go up and just say, hey, I love this hotel. I've stayed here like 3 times. I get the biggest kick out of being here. You're close, but not too close. Yeah, it can be a little bit of a walk on that last day, but I just dig this hotel and see if I can't like talk my way into a discounted rate
It's a cool hotel. I will
for
give
the
you
next
that.
year. Yeah.
That's the first time I've stayed there. That was cool. And you're right. It was far enough away that when we wanted to get away, we were there,
Hmm.
but we can still get back to stuff with like
Relatively
a reason.
quickly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But that last night, it was longer that last night for sure.
Yes, it well, and then after you left, okay, so you've gone, right?
Yeah.
I'm supposed to meet up with everybody to go out again. And I'm like, oh, I don't know, man. Eric, good guy Eric, the big tall
Hmm.
guy. He was at a party right across the street from the hotel, right? And so I was like, I'm just gonna sit in the window and see if I see him. Just- excuse me. And there was
Very
a
hitchy.
deli on the next block over.
Okay.
So I went to the deli. I got a pizza and a couple of soft drinks. I came back to the room and sat in the window, watched people coming and going, coming and going, coming and going. Fell asleep in the chair, which is always a good feeling that you wake up and you've got like a box of cold pizza in your lap, and you're just like, oh my god, what the hell happened? You know.
Oh, that's too funny.
But then I went, caught up to him, and
It's a
of
little
course,
Hitchcocky, but
it's a
funny.
little, yeah, yeah. It just, yeah, yeah. But that last night, man, after you left, I tried to go back down to the con for a while,
Hmm.
and it was just like, yeah, I'm, I think I'm kind of toast. I'm kind of fried. you know,
It takes
everybody's
it out
going.
of you.
It does, yeah. Because Dakota and some of the guys were still around, so it's like I know I'm going to go out with those guys again, and yeah, I need to rest. I need to rest bad. But the Comic Con museum, that was cool. That
That
was
was
great.
very cool. I can't believe we've never done that before.
No, and it wasn't that far away. I was thinking, oh my god, it's going to be like a
Oh
half
yeah,
an hour Uber ride, and it's like, oh, 10 minutes. Shit,
yeah. Why not?
why not?
We should probably go to the zoo some year too.
Yeah, probably. And I know in past years some of the fanatics have done that because they too have like, gotten burnt out on the Comic Con stuff.
Right.
So, all right. So, shall
Well,
we jump into topic?
well, before we do that, I got a
Okay.
couple questions for you. Just we're gonna get there. But have you watched Loki yet?
I watched the first episode. I
Okay.
really liked it, and I just haven't gotten around back to
All
it.
right. All right. Well, we'll shelve that till next time.
Okay. I did read an
I
S.A. Cosby book.
say what now?
I did read one of the S.A.
Oh,
Cosby.
S.A. Crosby books. Oh, how'd
Crosby,
you like it?
Crosby, Crosby.
How'd you like it?
I liked it good. I liked it good.
Like it
Jesus.
good. All right.
Yeah, I
It
did
was Razor Blade Tears.
no, the Blacktop
Okay.
Wasteland.
Yeah. Okay.
Different characters in every story?
Yes. Yes.
Okay,
All set in that same general geographic area.
okay,
And I think with the most recent one, he might be thinking about doing a recurring character, but I don't think so.
okay.
But yeah, he's really good.
Very enjoyable, very fun, one of those I read it on the plane coming back from Minnesota, and yeah. I was like, "Well, shit, I should have started reading this sooner. And I
I
probably should have
told
picked
you.
up another one." Oh, well.
I told you. It's only I think there's four. I think I've read three now, and I haven't gone back to look for the fourth one. But it's on my short list for
Well,
sure.
it's one
He's
of
good.
those, yeah, because 'cause I'm, like, going, "Okay, which one should I start? Should I start with the first book? No, I'll come back to the second book because 'cause I'm gonna pick up on themes in the second and the third book, and then I go to the first book, and they're not developed yet, and I'm gonna be, like, pissed off." So, no. I'd rather read that one knowing he gets better and
Yeah,
clearer. You know
that's
what I'm
fair.
saying?
Yeah, yeah.
Because like,
Because Early Parker is that way. Because like Godwolf manuscript doesn't read like anything else in the Spencer series. He clearly
yes.
didn't have the character defined.
Mhm. Yeah, like when you read, The World According to Garp,
Hmm.
you go back and read the first 3 books, and the first 3 books, there's one about wrestling, there's one about Vienna and bears, and there's one about, the something else, and you're just like, "Oh, so he took all that stuff, you
And
know,
created
cut out the
Garp.
fluff and created Garp and then put it back in,"
Yep.
you know?
Yeah, because I did that. That's exactly how I read those. I read Garp and then somebody I knew had copies of the other ones. Like, oh, I haven't read those. Oh, wait, okay.
Mhm.
I've seen this before
Yeah.
in a more
So
cohesive format.
yeah, so you'll know there'll be wrestling. There will be Vienna. There'll be bears. There will be some weird sexual thing, like
At
cider house.
least one,
At least
perhaps
one,
more.
perhaps more. Yeah.
Like
Um,
the door in the floor. That one's yeah, that
mhm.
one's a lot.
Oh yeah. So yeah. So I figure I'll read like the second and so I guess the Blacktop Wasteland is the second one.
Yeah,
Blade Tears
tears.
is the next one.
Third, and then this he just put one out this year. The name of which escapes me at the moment,
Mhm.
but it's that most recent one's dark as fuck.
Okay. Yeah. I was gonna say okay. Darker than what I. All right.
Yeah, it's
Okay.
the darkest of the bunch, and they're none of them are light. At least in my reading, it was the darkest of the three that I've read. Let's put it that way. I'll be curious to
Okay.
see what you think. All right, so I did.
Yeah.
We will
2 more
we'll come
trips to
back
Minnesota and I'll have it done.
between you and your wife.
Right.
Um, have you one more thing, and then we'll get to our topic for the day. Have you seen the hullabaloo about what might be coming with the Marvels this week?
With the Marvels?
Yes,
Oh, that they talk about they're gonna drop a hint about, perhaps mutants?
yes, yeah. Well, I don't know if you. I saw the commercial today, and like it says, "See what happens next," and as it fades out, the X stays on the screen a little bit longer than all the other letters. So
Okay.
my theory is my theory is they're doing that to troll us and get people in the theaters on the off chance that the X Men show up. I'm not convinced they will, but that's sort of what they're hinting at.
Yeah, though yeah. I superhero movies in general, these last couple of releases have been really they're into the second tier characters.
Hmm.
They all are like, "Oh, the formula's messed up." And it's like, "No, you're just going deeper into the catalog." It's like, "I like this band, but then I'm not sure I like this B track off their studio,
Right.
their indie days."
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's the thing. I mean, you're not gonna. They're not all. Well, I mean, they got lucky initially because let's be honest, Iron Man was a B character by
Yes.
and large.
Yes.
I mean, they just got lucky that that
Mhm,
one hit. The rest of them are A's, but
mhm.
there's only so many A's they got, and without the Fantastic Four and the X Men, they're short a lot of A's.
Oh, yeah.
So they're doing what they can.
Mhm.
Um, so anyway, yeah.
Yeah. No, I've heard about it, read about it. I've kind of been we're putting the basement back together slowly. Like, we're
Ah,
getting carpet on Friday, walls have been repaired,
nice.
painted, and we're making that fateful decision whether or not to paint the cabinetry down there, which
Ooh,
requires which re- involves removing things and painting and priming in like a 3 or 4 night process. And it's kind of
yeah,
like, eh,
yeah.
eh.
We've had those conversations this afternoon. In fact, because we're doing carpet in the upstairs, because
Hmm,
between two boys and three dogs,
eh.
it's not good up here. Let's just put it that way. It's just not good. It is time.
Mhm.
So we were talking about that, and then okay, so now this room I'm in was the boys' media room, and well, does it stay the boys' media room? Do we want to do some other things up here? Relocate Jack to the room over there and take that room for a guest room slash office. I mean, what are we going to do here?
Yeah.
Because they're visitors now, by
Yeah,
and large.
pretty
So
much.
so yeah, I'm doing the same thing. And then it was like, oh, do we paint before we put the carpet down? Well, if we get that in, you
That's
know,
the whole thing. We want all the walls painted because, like, I want to know if the guy, because we have to put cabinets back on the walls, right?
okay,
And the wall is primed, but there's also it looks like he's added some more drywall mud and spots.
mhm,
So it's like, is this wall released for me as the homeowner to go in there and paint? Because without the cabinetry in, I can paint the whole wall, as opposed to being on the top of a 6 foot ladder, reaching over a cabinet,
right,
hoping for the
right,
best. Now I can actually cut in properly and be able to, do all that. So it's a sequencing issue.
Hmm. So we've got that, and then the fence on that side is about to be replaced.
Mm,
So, and then it's like I'm trying to see if the guy, it's a buddy of our neighbors, so he's
hmm
doing it on the cheap. But my gate is on the other side, and it's
hmm
about to fall down. And I'm like, can I get the friends and family discount for if you put in a new gate on that side? Um, you know, try
hmm
to all that. Plus, we're trying to get down to Costa Rica to see the stepfather,
Oh man.
and Thanksgiving with my folks, trying to get them here. So
Oh
it's
man.
a lot of balls in the air today.
hmm
So, so speaking of balls, what? Whoa!
Oh, whoa. Transition.
That's what I do, man. We have a theme for today's show, or a topic we wanted to get to, and it was an excellent one. You came up with it. Do you want to introduce it?
Yeah, basically with the World Series wrapping up. Um,
Boo! Or,
well, you didn't let the range. I didn't care.
I didn't really care. Well, I did care because the Rangers beat the Astros, but
Yeah, I was okay with that.
go ahead.
My feeling is until all those players are off the team, you guys should get close and lose.
Well, ALCS 7 out of 7 last 7 years, 2 World Series wins. So 5 out of 7 is getting close.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
So
I just want some more pain. I want this to be like the Braves of our youth that would like win the National League and then one World Series win out of that whole time.
it's funny you mentioned that because when I was watching one of the games, they were talking about how the Astros have now tied that Braves team,
Mhm.
who the Astros could never get past during that time. The Astros would come out of the West, get stomped by the Braves coming out of the East, and then the Braves would get stomped by whoever was coming out of the AL. So,
So
yeah,
there we go.
good
Karma,
time.
man. It's all intonations. But with that in mind, and the fact that like we are accidentally both wearing the Copa de Divertida minor league baseball hats, the subject is alternate jerseys for Major League Baseball teams, and specifically the City Connect theme,
So,
which
yeah, go ahead. I was going to say, can you? Because I live in a minor league town now. I'm. By the way, the Astros started winning when I moved to Austin, literally. So they're welcome. Um, but so I've not seen a lot of these in play. So my opinions here are going to be based pretty much on putting the slideshow together earlier. But go ahead.
which is fine. So the idea, and I think they did it with basketball previously. Like a lot of the basketball teams have a city jersey. So
Hmm.
like in Denver, they'll have a jersey that says Mile High City, and if they're in Detroit, it'll say, I don't know, Detroit Rock City.
Duck,
I don't know. Yeah, duck and cover. Um,
chalk out, just a chalk outline.
yeah, like G Town. I mean, just kind of.
Yeah, yeah,
And so Nike got the contract with Major League Baseball, and so they've been trying to, Oregon duck the goddamn thing.
yeah.
Uh,
It's
is the
like that
best
you
way
made
to
that a
describe it.
verb. Yeah,
Yeah,
you're right.
they're trying to duck it. Um, and so
All right.
basically, the idea was to create. They have this idea that it's 4+1. When you get into this stuff, you're like, this is all just marketing buzzword shit. But every team has like four set jerseys: a home and away, home alternate, away alternate.
Hmm. Sure.
And then they were trying to get them to buy into this idea of the City Connect jersey, the four plus this one. And the
Okay.
idea behind the City Connect jerseys is that they would somehow relate to or tie back to the city's history or something. So as we get into them, some of the designs reference like old minor league teams or some other kind of thing in the city's history.
Okay.
Others, I think, just tie into something that the city is known for. We're going to get into some of them where you're just
Thank
like, what
God
the fuck were
Albuquerque
they
doesn't have a
thinking?
major league team. Um,
Yeah, just big A bombs.
Albuquerque meth.
big,
Uniforms are all blue. I'm
yeah,
sorry.
oh, that would be cool. Cross syringes on the sleeves,
Crystal blue.
crystal blue sequins.
All right. So I put together a little slideshow, and you asked for them in chronological order, and they're pretty close. They're all by
year.
year chronological.
Yeah, and that's
So
the other thing. They haven't done like all 30 teams. They've done
true.
just like they do like 6 or 7 teams a year. They're up to 20, I think, in total. They started doing it in 2021. So, 2
So there
more
were 3
years, they
years.
could pretty much get everybody
As
if
I
they
was going through
participate.
this, I noticed neither of the New York teams were in here, and I'm curious to see uh, if the Yankees would participate. I can see there's just being like navy blue saying Bronx on it or something. But anyway, let's look at some of the ones that exist
That
currently,
would
and
work. That would
it
work.
would actually. All right, so let me see if I can do this way. Hold on,
There, oh,
hold
wait.
on, hold on. Watch this.
Okay.
There we go. Look at that. Boom.
Boom.
Number
The
one,
the
the
Arizona
Arizona Diamondbacks.
or the Serpientes. Yeah, this one's actually kind of cool. Um, I think when you start seeing going through them, if they don't get like completely radical with the color scheme, that they don't change the color scheme much. You know.
Yeah, I would have liked to have seen them, and I said this during the World Series. I'm still disappointed that they got rid of the purple because
Mm,
it made their uniform stand out like day to day,
hmm
whereas now it's just the kind of black and red like so many other teams.
like everybody else.
Yeah, yeah. So I would have liked to see maybe some purple in this, um, but this was
Or
clean. This
no,
was
it's
clean.
it's clean. I would like to have seen like the skinny script on the jerseys. I don't like because if when you go to the pro shop at the stadium and you see the jerseys, because like Royals has that script font. I
Hmm.
hate it. I've always hated it. I can't. I have 3 Royals jerseys and none of them say Royals. They're all away jerseys that say Kansas City.
Well, it gets lost in the buttons, right?
Yeah,
It because you can look at that picture right there, and you know what it says, but the P is not right.
that's right. It's the Sirientes, which might be somebody's name. We don't know. But
Could
I think
be.
the idea was to go back and to tie into their Latin, uh, you know,
Yeah, and
and
there's
with a city like Phoenix, there's no history of ballpark. I mean, you pretty much are going to. The other thing would be like bandoliers and going El Bandito. You know,
I do question the red number rather, because it doesn't go with anything else on the uniform. I
no,
mean, it
it really
pops
it
off the
pop.
uniform, but it's a weird choice.
hmm And the font is just kind of eh.
I might. I'm pointing at the picture because you can see that, right? I might have
Mhm.
taken that aqua color along the diamond edge of the A for the number. It still would have popped,
Okay.
but I don't know.
Well, and
So,
I would like to see them do what they've done in some of like the later jerseys, and we'll
mhm.
see it like when we get to Baltimore and some of the others, where they'll put a pop of color on the sleeve, not
Yes.
like the lining or the hem of the sleeve or something.
Mhm.
Um, it's okay. It's just a different color, serpientes. It's like
It's very, very classic, if I may.
it's Hispanic Heritage Month giveaway jersey. Um,
You're not wrong, essay.
yeah, because like the Royals do that, and they this Los Reales, which I personally think should just say Reales because we don't need the Los, okay? Um, and do something more colorful, more Hispanic. It's a white jersey with navy that says Reales. It, this reminds me of that. So I think it's okay, but it feels like it could have been punchier.
Okay. All
Mhm.
right. So this one's middle of the pack, we think.
Yeah, I'd say middle of the pack. What do we got
Next
next?
up,
Boston Red
Boston.
Sox.
I hate this one.
Really? I
It
hated
looks
it
like
at
this.
first.
It looks like the Savannah Bananas.
It does look like the Savannah Bananas. I think in this photo that yellow shows more yellow than it is. It's a kind of a creamy pastel yellow.
Okay.
Because yellow, there's a thing in like color theory that yellow is a really vibrant color, and they don't use them. They did them in insane asylums, and it made the patients more crazy. Because the color is so kind of active. You know,
Well, and I remember from some of my advertising classes that was like that was a color you wanted to use in advertising because it jumps out at you like for a billboard or something. It's an aggressive color, which I guess
it
maybe
is.
works for the Red Sox. I don't know.
But I think
Uh,
this one they go back to a it's one of those where they throw back to like some old team that used to be in the town.
okay.
And I was
It,
going to look it up, but it's like a throwback or a reference, not to their Ukrainian heritage, which isn't true because it's all Irish. But yeah, there's a reason for it. It goes back to like an old team.
okay.
You hate it. I actually don't mind it. I
I
didn't like it at first. The more I've seen it, the more I've been like, you know what?
I think the
That's not
reason
bad.
I think the reason I hate it is because it's so jarringly different, and that's probably the whole point. But it's like, I mean, Boston has had the same basic uniform for as long as I can remember, right? And this is
Yeah.
so very different, so un-Red Soxy. It just, I don't know. It might grow on me, but the first thing I thought was no, and then Savannah Bananas, and then it was like, because even that, I mean, the colors, even like the yellow and blue, the lightish blue,
Oh yeah,
cyan
it's very,
color.
very
It's
jarring because I was like, why are we watching college games?
well, there's some beer leagues in here too. So,
Oh, there
uh,
are very definitely some beer leagues. Yes.
all right. So, split decision on the Red Sox jersey. It looks like.
Uh-huh. I
Okay.
was trying to think. I was if there was doesn't say there was a reason for it. I forgot, but it doesn't. I was hoping to find that. So, oh
Okay.
well, I didn't do my research. I suck.
You're fired. Oh, there we go. How about that? Is that better? No, then you
That
can't see the
works.
name. Oh, you can't see the name of the team that want to do that. So, all right.
Okay.
So, all right. So, all right. Split decision on the Red Sox.
Mhm.
Okay. I'm gonna let you go first.
Um, I didn't like this one at first. I like the colors. I like the little C, the Cubs logo that they kind of tweaked on the hat. Um, I
It
think
pulls
Wrigleyville,
the.
huh?
I was gonna say the thing on the hat kind of pulls the city flag in too.
Pretty much. Yeah, yeah, exactly. Very much so. Um, I'm not sure about how I feel about Wrigleyville, but I mean, your other choices are like Chi Town or Windy City, and
Yeah.
those just are kind of stupid and hackneyed. And if you're not a baseball fan and you don't know, Wrigleyville is the neighborhood around
Right.
Wrigley Field.
So
Um,
that makes sense to me. I mean, of the
mhm,
choices they could have had, that I, I'll say the only part of this I don't care for, and it's just aesthetics for me, and I get why they did it. I might have gone with a different pant,
oh, because
but
they're like
it's
navy pants. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's too, I mean, I might have gone with like a navy pinstripe pant with that with
Or
the
the
light
baby
blue
blues.
belt. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Or even just white. I mean, whatever. The blue pants seem like a lot for me, but I like this one a lot. This is one of my favorite ones. And that for the same reasons you just said. It's a clean design. I like the logo. It doesn't get lost.
Hmm.
The hat pulled something else from the city into it.
Hmm.
And they've got all the colors of that flag. Well, they've got all the colors of the city's flag. So it's a really nice combination that they put together. I like this one a lot.
I would agree with that. And I think what's going to happen is that you're going to see the ones that aren't that aggressive, like the Diamondbacks,
Hmm.
and then you're going to see stuff like Boston, and you know, it's in there that you're like going, well, what in the hell is the design intent of all this stuff? Because I'm going to, as we get through them, I kind of know how I feel about most of them. The ones to me that make the biggest break with what we're familiar with,
Hmm.
I think are the more successful.
Okay.
Okay.
I can see how that would work. There's a couple of cases where I think it absolutely doesn't work,
Hmm.
but we'll get to those. All right, so you know what's coming next, and I'm just going to give you the floor. Go ahead.
Fucking hate the White Sox. um, I hate everything about the team. I absolutely adore everything about this jersey
Oh
because in
my,
my mind, it's everything that's wrong with the team.
that is the
And
biggest back. That's such a backhanded compliment.
well, yeah, I mean, this to me is the one. I mean, you know, like I said, I've just elevated my dislike for the White Sox to this ridiculous level. Okay. So I see that. I immediately see the prison pinstripes. The South Side, it's got that gothic lowrider kind of a vibe to it,
Right.
kind of a gangland sort of a thing.
Yep.
Really, it's kind of weird because it's more. I think it comes off more as like lowrider culture than South Side of Chicago culture. Um, but all in all, I actually like this for achieving whatever it was supposed to try to achieve.
All right. I am officially stunned at this point.
That I like
Um,
it or that what?
yes, that you like it. I just thought, just on principle, you would dislike this one, but I
Oh, I'm
mean,
trying
it
to hate
works.
it. Trust me,
It
I'm trying to
works. I
hate
mean,
it.
it works on a lot of levels. I mean, it does capture all of the elements that have made Chicago White Sox merchandise so successful over the years.
Absolutely. Black and white color scheme. It's got like a bravado, kind of like a swagger
I
to it.
I really dig the hat too.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
exactly.
yeah.
It's like you see your little friends over at Wrigleyville, and then these motherfuckers pull up and shit goes wrong. Exactly. And that's the funniest part because it's 'cause Chicago, Southside Chicago doesn't have like lowrider culture, and yet that it's what I see when I see this.
That's fair. Yeah. All right. Well, the color me shocked, and let's move on to the next one.
Yeah. No, I'm trying to hate it. Trust me, I try to hate it. This one I
uh,
do hate.
yeah.
This
There's no point to this one. This one's awful.
this-
This one's just stupid.
you added Los Dodgers.
Yeah.
What
You
the
added
hell?
Los. All you did was add Los.
And that's a nod to the fact that they're Hispanics in LA.
Yeah.
Really? You could have pulled this one could have taken some of the Chicago swagger. This one could have been, I don't know.
There's. I mean, I can't. I feel like I should know that there was, if there was a team in LA before the Dodgers, but I don't think there was. I think that was the whole point of the Dodgers moving
Mhm.
from Brooklyn. But there's so much you could do with Los Angeles. This is just lazy.
Oh yeah, and that's why when you like when I say I like the idea of the City Connect jerseys, but a city like Phoenix, where doesn't have like a baseball history that you can kind of flash back to,
Right.
it may be I don't know a lack of identity that Wrigleyville has that identity. Southside has the identity. Boston doesn't really have the identity, but it's so different that it just kind of catches your attention and holds it. This, if you were to flash this up on the screen, I would not identify this as one of the City Connect jerseys.
No, no.
Again, this is Hispanic History Month or night at the
I,
ballpark.
it is, and again, why the red numbering? It's not a Dodger color. You're not doing anything with this jersey to make it be a Dodger color. It should just be white.
Yeah. Oh
I
yeah.
mean, there's no
And I think
point in the red.
no, and I think the only reason it's not in white because then it would look like they're regular jerseys, just a
Well, it
deeper
does
shade of
anyway.
blue. Yeah.
I mean, this may be the worst one.
This one's bad. The
This is
worst one
bad.
I think the worst one is Pittsburgh, but we're getting to that.
Oh, yeah, okay. You may have a point there. All right. All right. So we both agree we hate this one,
We hate
right?
that one.
We
Mhm.
hate that one. All right. All right. I kind of like this one.
I dig this one too. Again, it goes and throws back to a previous team. I think the Miami Sugar Kings or something like that. I
Okay.
did look this up before, and that's the only reason I know it.
Good. I'm
Sugar
glad you
Lords, maybe I don't know.
did. Drug lords.
Drug Lords, but I like. I mean, at least it's not the multicolored pastel M and the fish. Just says Miami, simple. It's like Wrigleyville. It's
Yeah.
simple. It's clean. You got the little
I
pinstripes that
I
don't
like those
detract.
wide pinstripes on the red jersey. That's not something you see a lot. The
No, this
pinstripes
is
are usually so tight together.
mhm.
This is this looks like it looks like a summer casual jersey for Miami. I mean, it's perfect in that way,
They come
right?
out and the fedoras and yeah, they're
Big fat
playing
Cuban smoke.
dominoes in the dugout.
Yeah, yeah. No, I really like this one a lot. It's one of my favorites.
No, that one they did a
Um,
great job
I like
on.
the way they incorporated the Marlin into it. Yeah.
Mhm.
Yep. So I don't think
No,
there's much
that's a
else to
good
say
one.
about this one. Yeah. Yeah. The color scheme works too. They did this one right. They got the red on the bill of the cap, the red on the jersey. They've got the sort of cyan blue again, which is very
Mhm.
popular in these, and it's the outline on the letters of the name of the city. I mean, all the colors are cohesive. I like that.
No, this is a great looking jersey.
Yeah, yeah,
And you kinda
uh,
actually, well, how about we just wear that one more than the rainbow M?
yeah,
I mean, the
yeah.
Marlins, I don't like their font. They just, you know. It's like when Tampa Bay came out as the Devil Rays, and they had that big devil ray across their you're just kinda like, "This is too hokey. This is my" no. This is a good one. This is a good looking
That's a
jersey.
good. This is one of the better ones. Yeah.
Mhm.
Okay. This is not a great picture, but there's again. This
It's
is like
okay.
the Dodgers
Not a
one. This
great
is
jersey.
this is like the Dodgers one. There was so little effort put into this. It's just
Yeah.
it's pointless.
Yeah, it's like the orange, and the G has this fade out, which is supposed to be
Yeah,
like the fog. I believe on one of the sleeves, they have like an outline of the Golden Gate Bridge that also disappears into the fog. Um, I don't
yeah. It's
know. Does San Francisco, again, is it one of these things where like these towns didn't have a minor league or former professional baseball team that they
well,
could flash
I
back
mean,
on?
I think that may very well be the point with LA and San Francisco because both of those teams migrated from New York to
Hmm.
bring baseball to the West Coast. That's the whole point of them being there. They were the first ones out there. So they don't, without going back to that history in another city, they don't have it, right?
Well, but
So
for this, you could have done something along the lines of, I don't know, whatever, a streetcar, rice-a-roni, I don't know. Well, the
uh,
rice-a-roni in San Francisco treat that would have worked. Just a
they
big
could have
old,
done tie dye for Haight Ashbury.
oh, the Grateful boy, that would have been cool. Now that, okay, when you see like the Baltimore jersey and how they incorporate sort of
Hmm.
the multicolor stuff, that actually that could have been a lot of fun. That
They
that
could
that
they could have had a lot of fun with that. Just that piece of the city's history. If you don't have the sports history, you need to look at
the
what
other
else is there, and I think that's a missed opportunity.
because then yeah, after that it's Gold Rush, Chinese brothels. I don't know. Uh, or the Golden Gate Bridge. They just jump
Should
over
be
bridges.
wearing coolie hats. I don't know.
Oh yeah, there we go.
All right, so this one's a no from
That
both of
one's a
us.
big no. That's just hot.
All right.
Oh hey, have you got your plates renewed?
Okay, I knew there was something, and I hadn't gotten there. I don't hate this one.
I don't either. Now, if you had a full body, like when this one debuted, they had green pants, and
Ay, ay, ay.
I think they either alternate white pants with it or switch to white pants with it, which looks a lot sharper. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
Now, this one is basically the Colorado license plate.
Is it really?
Oh yeah,
Okay.
yeah. If
And
I could challenge you to do a search, so this one is actually it's kind of cool. It gets a little mixed reactions because it looks so much like the Colorado license plate. Um, but
oh, it does. Oh my.
oh yeah,
Okay,
it's like the
that's
design.
funny.
Like, oh yes, I'm over here in another country, and they won't know if I steal this design, except everybody in Colorado will. But yeah, and in
Your target
Wyoming, and in
market.
Kansas, and Utah, and Arizona.
All those flyover states. Excuse
Everybody who
me.
borders on Colorado will know that's the Colorado license plate.
And I can't. This is a
And with
terrible
that
picture.
yellow thing on the sleeve, it looks like
It
a
looks
renewal
like a
tag.
sticker. It does.
So
What's the hat? I got a terrible picture. I was in a hurry. What's the hat look
so
like?
the hat I think is green and white, and it has this little round logo that just is a C and an O, and it's blue with like a reddish outline. It's actually kind of cool. Um,
I'm
but
looking it
yeah,
up right now. Okay, that's not terrible. I don't hate that.
no, this one is
And it
semi
incorporates the
successful.
purple from their
Regular
regular uniform.
uniforms. Hmm.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, that works. That's mid pack. I give that one a mid pack.
It's mid pack. It is a little bit softball league, but not too bad.
It's not the most softbally of these though, for
Oh
sure.
no, not by a long shot.
Huh. I love the hat.
The hat is fantastic. The H with the little thing going around it
Uh-huh.
is phenomenal. But Space City, I feel, let's be honest, it could be gas and oil, oil and gas town, well town,
Yeah.
China,
I will say, having lived there for a quarter of a century, that is one of its official nicknames because of NASA being there. So, I mean, I get why they went with that. I mean, Clutch City is the Rockets thing, right? For when they
hmm
beat the Knicks years ago.
hmm
Um, so, um, and Space City goes with Astros. I don't, and it's kind of the NASA font,
It's kind of the
which
NASA font, which unfortunately on that jersey looks like a video game font. Like
yeah, it looks
this is a Asteroids 2.0.
yeah.
All your
Like that.
baseballs are belong to us.
Uh, nice. Blip, blip,
Bloop,
blip,
bloop,
blip,
bloop, bloop,
blip,
bloop,
blip,
bloop,
blip,
bloop.
blip, 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 blip. Sorry, I went Space Invaders there for a minute. I hate to do it, but I gotta put this in sort of mid pack. Hat's great, jerseys just kind of
Yeah. Yeah, no, the H is phenomenal.
yeah, yeah.
Because I see that and it's like, wow, that is cool. And then you see the jersey and like, what happened?
I think that's why I hadn't bought anything on any of my trips to Houston because I was like, the jersey's just kind of mid, and I can't find the hat in the style that I like. But
Mhm.
maybe next time. So anyway, all right. Next we have your team.
Hey, Whit Merrifield.
I'm gonna
Um,
just let the dog out of here again. Hold on. Go ahead.
no, that's fine. So obviously, I may be a little bit biased to this, but if you've heard my previous comments on how much I just dislike the Royals, that there's just dark blue on white. After they won the World Series, they did a gold trim around it, which was great. And it's like, why don't you keep that? That looks phenomenal. That looks great. No, no, no. It's a special thing. And it's like, what, is the gold vinyl? I mean, wrestlers wear that shit all the time. It can't be that expensive.
Right.
Uh, so anyway, I like this. The color is nice. Nice change. The royal blue instead of the baby blues and royal blue.
Hmm.
The KC is kind of, we call ourselves the City of Fountains.
Okay.
And our old Kansas City logo used to be like two little fountains kind of arching off to the sides. So, like in that first, the bottom of the K,
Hmm.
you just double that, and that was what the KC logo looked like. So I dig that. I dig the little crown on the inside of the jersey, like
Hmm.
the
Side of the sea.
over the seam.
Yeah.
Um, they reference the old Beatles song when they played. Um, they played a concert at the old stadium, Municipal Stadium, and they said, "Hey, hey, 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 Kansas City." Anyway, so on the inside of that it says, "Hey, hey, hey,"
Oh, okay.
which is kind of cool. This is a huge hit because I see. I mean, so I had gift cards and a season ticket holder discount, so I got my jersey for like $30.
Nice.
But I mean, you see a lot of this, and a lot of the hats and stuff. This is a
I do like this one. It's one of my favorites. It's in my top tier. As I
Mhm,
was going through these earlier, I was like, yeah, I could see, and I like the homage to the baby blue with the stripes around the bottom of the sleeve is a
mhm,
nice touch.
mhm.
It works. What just because now apparently I'm the pants guy. What color pants do they wear with this?
Dark blue,
Okay,
same
okay. So
color.
they
It's like the
they've got the
Wrigleyville thing.
okay, okay. All
Yeah.
right. I like this one. I like this one.
No, that one, it's a good one. When you take because like you see it, like, oh, I'm a homer. I like it because it's my team. But then when you see it with all of them, you're like, oh no, I like it because it's one of the better ones.
Yeah, no, design wise, this
Mhm.
one kind of pops really hard.
Yep.
All right. So next up we have this one.
I don't like the numbers, but I like everything else. I like the sort of surfboard stripes on the sleeves. I like that kind of hand loopy sort of font for angels. I do not like the Tabasco logo number on the chest.
I would make that smaller. I mean, it is a diamond. It's too big.
I'd take the diamond
Um,
off.
that could work too. I like the hat. This is not a very good picture of the hat, but the hat is very throwbacky.
Hmm.
It's got that chunky A with the thin halo on it.
Hmm.
I like this one a lot. I've always been an Angels guy. I've always loved that Angels logo.
Hmm.
It's one of my favorites, and there's nothing I just don't like about this one. I even don't even hate the, as you said, the Tabasco label, which was funny, by the way.
That's the only thing that always that's the one that bugs me about because you look at it and you're like, oh man, that's good. Oh, can I get
But
one
you're right.
without numbers?
I didn't notice the stripes on that left sleeve are very surfboardy, and that's a very nice touch. And there's
Hmm.
several of the promo pictures when I was pulling these where they had them standing with surfboards.
Hmm.
And I just grabbed this one because it was a better representation of the jersey than the surfboard being in a way. So this one's in my top tier
Yeah,
for
that's
sure.
a
I
good
like this
one,
one.
and it's like an off-white. It's a little cream. It's a cool looking shirt
Yeah,
jersey
yeah.
kit.
All right.
If we are talking soccer,
You mean football?
football, which we'll play and throw. Hey, softball league is back.
Yeah,
It's beer night
this
at
is
the.
the this is one of the first one that I thought was a beer league uniform. Um,
No, this isn't even beer league. This is slow pitch adult drink your ass off softball.
you're right. This was terrible.
This is like
This
fat
was
guys
terrible.
who come out to the park. Hey, we're the brew crew. you
Get
know,
it? Beer.
get it? Beer. Yeah, beer me, buddy. Yeah. The colors are nice, and it's kind of like one of those things where you look at it and you're like, Milwaukee has a kind of a cool set of jerseys and
Yeah.
uniforms. And just for my own amusement, I might say kit. It's a throw the soccer
You
thing in there only.
go for it.
The Kansas City soccer team beat St. Louis uh, for the playoffs, so it's kind of on our minds.
Yeah. The Austin FC wasn't involved. So
There we go with the Tree of Life logo. Yes, very
yeah.
nice. This is just
This
again,
is again. It's lazy.
this is lazy, and the other thing is like Milwaukee with all the breweries and stuff, you could have, I I mean, some of their logos very much look like, a can of Miller Lite, right? And
Hmm.
they play at Miller Field, duh. Anyway, um, but I mean, it just feels like they could have done something. I mean, Milwaukee's known for beer, and that's pretty much it. And cheese or brats. I mean, it's fucking
So
Wisconsin.
beer culture is what you're saying.
Beer culture. And so Brew Crew, I'm pretty sure that's a nickname that somebody who doesn't realize how piss poor this looks thought would have been great. I just
Yeah.
just feel like the
It,
design team is not in this country.
and again, the hat is not represented well here, but the hat is terrible too.
Yeah, this one is absolutely one of
There's nothing redeeming about this one.
no from and the Brew Crew. It even the font that they chose looks amateurish.
Yeah, it looks like somebody freehanded it, quite frankly.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, what fonts do you have available? Okay, I'll take Arcana Bold, please.
Were they out of wingdings?
Yes, yes, the one right above Wingding, which is like, yeah, MSOUE something. I don't know.
All right, so we
Generic
both hate this
Microsoft
one.
font. We don't like this one.
Our old friends, the Padres.
Oh my God. This is what I would have expected out of Miami before Miami
Exactly.
said,
Thank
"Fuck
you.
that."
That was going to be my point. This so much seems like it should have been Miami's, right? With these colors.
Uh huh.
Yes.
Um,
No. We
it's
traded in. We traded in brown and yellow for every fluorescent pastel color we could find.
I feel an affinity for this. In the 80s, there was a designer who was responsible largely for all like the fluorescent clothing.
Okay.
Okay. His name was Steven Sprouse.
I remember that.
Yes. So there's a part of me that sees that and goes, "Haha, 80s. Haha, I should like this. Haha, but I don't."
I know, and we've seen this one in person up close in the team shop in San Diego,
Mhm.
and both looked at it goes and said, "I can't buy that."
I think it came out like it didn't
I
come
think
out this year, did it?
this is a,
It like
this is a 2022 one.
okay. Then it came out the year before when Jack and the boys were with
Yeah,
us.
yeah.
Um, And I remember it came out like right before Comic-Con, to the point where you're like, yeah, I'm going to go and check this out. And then you see it in person. You're like, oh, wow, the pictures did do it justice.
It's awful. I think I showed it to Laura one time, or they were playing on TV with it on, and she was like,
Oof,
"What
that's
is
bad
that?"
TV.
It's yeah. Check the vertical. I mean, it's got a white balance after that game. Um, yeah,
Uh,
I want to like. I like the Padres. I want to like it, but this was it's terrible. I can't. I don't like it.
yes, I would agree with that. Yeah, and it was kind of, again, doing some of the reading. When this came out, it did like monster jersey sales. And it's like,
Well,
I just,
well, they went undefeated for a while wearing it, and so that was part of the mystique. Was it was their lucky jersey.
mm,
And I mean, I can see if you're San Diego and your team colors are brown and yellow. Let's be honest, you might be looking for something a little different. Um, I get that, but this is not it. There's
no,
too many colors.
there's too many colors there.
See, if they'd have gone with like the blue and pink that's on the hat for the jersey, it would have been so much better.
Oh, like, well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Like blue with pink highlights or something.
Yeah,
I could see that. And the font's not, I'm not crazy about the font. I mean,
yeah.
if you're going to go neon, just fucking go the full Miami Vice and do
Well,
that
at
weird
least,
Art Deco shit.
well, at least they didn't go like Hispanic Heritage Night pander with it. I mean,
Los Padres. Los Padres.
well, it's already Spanish, so what are they going to say? They
It's a
could have been just
brown
quick.
jersey. It looks like the Cleveland Browns.
The
It's just all
Friars.
Los Fri. Now, okay, that could have been interesting. That, I mean, unfortunately, you did do the gold and the brown, but you could have done something maybe with brown and white and done the Friars
Yeah.
and had it be. I mean, if you're calling one Wrigleyville, then you might as well call it Friartown, or I don't know,
Whale,
Friarville, or
whale vagina.
yes, whale vagina. Let's call it that. But no, they could have done something different.
Yeah. Yeah.
I just felt like,
Yeah.
they
It's
focus group some of this stuff. You got to wonder about the people they invite in.
never. People never cease to amaze me.
Mm-mm.
All right. This one looks like it needs to be washed. Every time I see it, I'm like,
It even
wash,
says "wash" on the front of
wash.
it.
I do like the cherry blossoms as a touch to an homage to DC, but it's the only thing about this one that I like.
Well, see, here's the deal. This one, when it came out, I was like, "Oh, that's pretty cool." I like the gray because it's a color you don't see on anybody else's jersey, so it's a totally different look. The WSH, I like that. The cherry blossoms were a nice touch. I did used to like this, but when we get into a couple of the ones that they did this season, you're gonna if this is the first pass at laziness, where we're just gonna make it WSA. We're gonna just basically use the airport's abbreviation,
Right.
and that's gonna be what we're gonna put on the shirt. Um, so it
And it
used to be
almost
here,
looks like the
and
cherry
then it's,
blossoms are almost an afterthought too. It kind of looks like the way they're placed. You
yeah.
know.
Mhm. I thought it worked at first, and then when we get into some of them, you're going to see the same kind of tropes repeat. And
Right.
so it's kinda like, "Oh, well, yeah, okay. I like that one a little less now." So,
Yeah, I'm not mad for that one, but I don't. I mean, I'd probably put it again in that middle tier pack,
mhm.
because it's got some things that are unique to it, but it's not great.
No.
So okay, I like this one,
This
and I'll
one,
tell you why.
why?
Because it's the Braves '70s
Yeah, I
uniform.
was gonna say it's the Hank Aaron uniform.
Yeah, that's exactly why it is classic. They added which
Mhm.
is fine. I get why they did that, but that's just a classic throwback baseball uniform, and that's just me being old. But I like that one a lot.
When you see it for the first time, because I got to see it when Atlanta came to town, I was on the fence about it. It's like, okay, I get it. It does look like they're old uniforms. At least they don't have a screaming Indian head on there. That's a plus. Um, but it's kind of like, the A. I don't know. It's
It
the
kind
part
of
that
look
actually bugs me.
it kind of looks like a college uniform, quite frankly.
Yeah.
Now that I'm looking at it again for longer, it's obviously the 70s uniform, but nowadays it looks more like a college uniform. That's what it is.
Okay.
It looks like, I mean, those colors are almost where it could be Auburn. If it were a little more orange, it could be an Auburn uniform. Instead of
Yeah.
red or orange, it could be Auburn. I still like it, but that's just because, you know.
Well, I think that's the thing. I mean, I get what you're saying. I think that because it's from Boston is jarring, which I like because it's jarring. This is comfort. It's comfort. It's soul food.
There's
It's
another
comfort
one on.
food.
There's another one to come that I have very strong feelings in that regard.
Mhm,
But this one's good. This one's fine.
mhm.
It's a classic baseball uniform. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't. So,
Okay.
I mean, it's not a lot of thought gone into it, but you're right. It's comfort food.
Yeah, it is. And I saw a bunch of people wearing it when they were at the game, and it was like obviously they got the right, they hit the right note.
Yeah.
And it's like when teams come to town. Oh man, this if you read the design brief, it's like they tried to pull every fucking thing that happened in baseball in the Dallas Fort Worth area
I hate this
into
one.
this.
Not because it's the Rangers. This is a terrible uniform.
The T and the X.
It barely looks like TX, quite frankly, and that's the one thing you got to get right.
Hmm. Yeah,
It looks like an F. It looks like FX
it
with a
does look like
spur.
FX. It's yeah, and it's this one's just like when I'm going through reading the design briefs, right? Boston, it's a throwback in Miami. It's a throwback to the Miami Sugar Kings. It's like two sentences. This one, the font is inspired by this team, and then this is inspired by that team, and this is a throwback to the old Colt 45s, and this is a this, and that's a that, and you're just
Okay.
like, whoa! Did not
Okay.
somebody not come into the designer and say, dude, stop? Just
Okay.
put
The
a
Colt
fucking star on
45s
the
were the
jersey and go,
Astros.
huh?
The Colt 45s were the
But you know what
Astros
I'm
before they.
saying? It was just
Yeah.
like
No.
all
Yeah.
this kind of junk. I mean, when I first saw it, I didn't know what the T and the X was, so I thought it was something with like gunfighters. I was like, well, that's kind of cool. And then you're looking at it more and you're like, oh, that's not good. That's really bad.
It's a terrible brand, like a terrible cow brand. It's like not even branding, but it's like a bad brand.
It's like the
You
cow
know?
moved in the middle of the brand.
Yeah. The numbering, the number is terrible. Uh,
And you
It's
can't see the thing on the side, which is like a combination of an eagle and
oh, did see the picture. Yeah,
yeah, you're
it's
just
like
kind of like, man, that's the most fucked up griffin I've ever seen.
it looks like a chupacabra.
Pretty much.
Um,
That probably could have inspired a really cool. And this is one of those where you think it's they could have done this one's where like the Hispanic Heritage Night could have like, saved this. I don't
there. Well, there's
Los
just
Rangers, Los Rangeros.
there's just there's nothing cohesive about it. It's just it's things thrown at a chalkboard to see what will stick. It's
It's like,
terrible.
yeah, Texas called them on the last day. Yo, we want to do one too. And the Desire's like, damn it. I just turned my computer off. I was going home for the night. Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, we both hate this one.
Mhm.
All right. Let's see. Okay, this is my other comfort food because that is one of my all-time favorite hats.
The old pilots. Or at least, that kind of the color
The
scheme
j-
and the old Mariners
w-
hat with the trident.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's the pilot's jersey and the old Mariners hat, and I've loved that Mariners hat with the trident on it since I was a little kid.
Hmm.
There's nothing to my mind to dislike about this one. It's a safe design, but it's clean. The way they did the lettering, so it hits the placket and doesn't get lost.
Hmm.
Which is one of our other complaints. You got the little pinstriping around the neck and the and the sleeves, and you got that trident hat. Chef's kiss on this one for me. I'm done.
I just don't like the font. The
Okay.
colors are good, and the font just is a little lacking for me. But otherwise, no, this is not a bad one. It's one of the, but it's one of those where it comes out and you're like, is it different enough? But then again, you look at Seattle baseball and it's like, they really don't have that big a history to pull from, you
Yeah,
know.
yeah. Again, West Coast baseball, you're limited.
Hmm.
I think they had some minor league teams. I think didn't they have the Rainiers maybe? Um, You
Yeah,
could
they
always
could have
go
pulled
with.
the Colorado one and put a big mountain on the front.
They had the Kurt Russell minor league team. They could have played with that. I can't remember what the name
Oh.
of that. What Kurt? Do you know that story, right?
Yep.
Yeah,
His
yeah,
old man owned a baseball.
yeah. A freewheeling indie minor league team. Yeah.
Mhm.
So anyway, there's a good documentary about that on Netflix, by the way. If you haven't seen it,
Okay.
it's called "The Battered Bastards of Baseball." It's really good.
All right then.
So
So we'll go with this one's okay.
this is okay. This one.
This one is like, okay, let's talk about the history of the Reds. The only way this jersey could have been worse is if they'd like dug through Marge's closet and put a red armband on it and a bunch of Nazi stuff swag all over it. That thing be like blood red, you know,
Yeah, yeah.
like four C's kind of circling around a point. I mean, this is what could
around a baseball.
around a
There you go.
baseball. Yeah, exactly. And
We
that's
just
it.
made it better.
Yeah, it's a blood red jersey with a white circle with a red C's. And
This one's terrible. I mean the city's abbreviated name gets swallowed up by the jersey.
well, it looks
Um,
like Sililisi.
yeah, again, it's the same problem with the splitting the letter on the placket. It doesn't work.
And this is one of the ones with the Cincy thing that made me go back and start reconsidering the Washington one because now you're just sort of shortening the name up by taking letters out, and it's like, oh, does
Yeah,
that? Um, yeah, I don't get the. Like I said, the only way it could have been worse is if they'd gone into Marge's closet and pulled out her Nazi regalia.
yeah. This
The
one's
old
just not
broad would
good.
have been thrilled. She'd have been up there, Zeke Highland the team as they goose stepped across the base paths.
Worst way to run to first.
That's right. So, and if anybody's watching who's not a baseball historian, they really need to look up. It's Marge Shot, right?
Yeah,
Shot. Uh huh.
shot. Yep,
Shot. Mm-hmm.
yep. All right, we're moving on. I don't like this one at all.
No,
There you go. You wanted to talk about Baltimore. There it is.
I like this one.
I do
This one
too.
has a sort of the Wrigley Field thing. I like there's no ornamentation on the Baltimore part, and I like that pop of color on the sleeves. Which, of course,
Is there distressing on the Baltimore, or is it just that picture?
I think it's just that picture.
Okay. Yeah,
Um,
that little pop of color on the cuffs is a very nice touch, and one of my favorite things in all of these.
oh yeah, and I think it's that pop of color that makes this work. Now, I think it'd
Yeah,
be a bitch to wear on the field in like a 100-degree day and you're wearing a black jersey.
yeah.
You know, you guys just sort of melt into the background. But
And
I like it.
I like that the Nike swoosh is orange, so it's just it pulls that rest of that Baltimore, that
And
classic
then
Baltimore color scheme in, just with
yeah,
that one little piece.
and then pops because like this, I think I was reading that on the first version of the jersey, you had to roll the jersey up to get that color pop.
Hmm.
And then they went back and they just made that sort of like the stripe at the end of the sleeve.
Nice. Yeah.
Now, this one is one
This
that just it's real strong, it's real simple. It's like Miami, and it just kind of works.
yeah, yeah. I agree. I like this
Mhm.
one. This one,
This one
this
is like,
one.
did you even fucking try? Pug. I mean, we had our college had local fraternities, and one of them were the Pugs. So every time I see this, I think of those slouches. Those
This
guys
is.
had to have sex with balloon dolls to get in the club.
Oh dear God.
No, no, no. I take
Um,
that back. They didn't bathe for a week, and they rolled in poop. They were just gross. I see this, and I'm like,
I'm not
Pittsburgh.
gonna lie. I picked this picture for that very reason. Um,
Short, squatty guy wearing a pug shirt? Yeah,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
absolutely.
I don't even know what the PGH stands for. I didn't.
Well, I think it's like, some of this stuff I think is like the airport call signs. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But you look at this
I,
and you're like going, I mean, Pittsburgh, Steel Town, Three Rivers, they're the Pirates. You couldn't have done a Buccaneer. I mean, the only thing that would have made this worse is a Buccaneer theme that they're wearing like a Captain Jack hat with a feather or
you know what I think would have helped this?
actually Bucks. If it said Bucks on it, BUCS, that might
Yeah,
have worked.
that would have worked. And what else would have helped?
Hmm.
Would have been those late '70s square hats.
Oh, the
You remember
pillbox?
those?
Uh-huh.
They had the stripes that ran around them with the P in the front. And they were squared off. I
Actually,
loved those hats, and I would have loved to see it on this uniform.
that would have worked with this uniform. That's the only way that you could make this one better other than to set it on fire.
Right? This is the guy that says, "I play semi-pro on the weekend."
I play semi-pro. I play for the
Now I don't play
company team.
minor.
Yeah,
I play
Procter Gamble
semi-pro.
something or another's. I'm
Yeah,
it's like the company's abbreviated. This is a softball league company shirt
yeah, yeah,
or semi-pro on the weekends. Yes, I'm
yeah,
playing in the Northern Atlantic Independent Leagues.
yeah. I have to pay them to suit up, but it's worth it because
I get to live
still
my
get my I get my name out there.
I get my, hey, that's right. I get on tape, I get some reps. Some scouts will come down,
It's still gonna happen still.
It's gonna happen still. Yeah, I'm 37. It's still gonna happen.
All right,
I
that's
got
the
an
last
87
one.
mile an hour fastball that I mix in with a lazy curve.
I've been working on an ephus pitch lately.
So I've got
Can't
the slow fastball, the ephus, and the lazy curve, all of which could be just driven out of the park. I make every
by
park
my
a hitter's
10-year-old
park.
son.
But
Um,
it's okay. We
oh,
got the city championships against the Brew Crew, and I'm feeling really good about it.
but I'm not playing semi-pro ball. I'm coaching my son's team.
Overcoaching it, yes.
Yes, I know. I used to coach against this guy. Um, so that's
God
all of
damn
them.
it, Timmy, get in position.
Have I ever told you the story of this? Since we're on this and we're on a tangent, the last year the boys played baseball, right? There was this one guy. He was that guy. He was this. I'm playing semi-pro ball. Blah blah blah. Always pushing his kid. Always looking for an angle to
Mhm,
like game the system. None of us liked him because he was an ass, right?
mhm,
So the last year the boys played, it was going to be our team against his team in the district championship game, right?
mhm,
He had at 9 they have pitch counts on those boys, which is a good thing,
mhm.
right? He had burned all of his pitching to get to the finals.
Oh, no.
He had one kid left on his team who could pitch, and I knew the kid. He'd been on my team a couple of times. Good kid. The douche didn't even show up for the game. He sent his wife with his son and had the guy who was the kid that was pitching's granddad who was raising him was the assistant coach, and he was the only coach there. He didn't show up. He left everybody hanging because he knew he wasn't going to win because we'd kept one in the chamber. We had let this kid alone
Mhm.
for that very game for like 5 games. We never put him on the mound. We had him when he was fresh, had all of his pitches, and he knew there was no way he was going to win, and he just didn't show up. I mean, just absolute douchebaggery. So,
Oh, there he is. The old PG, the
yeah,
pugs.
pugs. So, all right, what is your absolute
So wait a
least
minute.
favorite one? Go ahead.
Just go back to the pugs for a second.
Uh huh.
As
Sure.
bad as it looks on that fire plug of a guy,
Uh huh.
look at it on skinny guys. It looks even more ridiculous.
Oh, I bet.
Oh, you see like some of the thinner players wear this. It just looks
Well, and
I
those
don't know.
letters
It's
are
like
so. Those
longest
letters
yard
are
prison outfits. I don't
okay. I
know.
had that a minute ago. It was very mean machine. I had that.
It's very mean machine. Before they got the caretaker hooked them up. Yeah.
Okay, and the letters on the chest are they feel aggressive. Like it's
Yeah.
like rah, and maybe it's because it's on the yellow field, but it's just like in my face.
Oh yeah. That's a horrible one. I hate this one.
Okay, so all right. So, what is your absolute least favorite?
uh it's between this one and Cincy.
Okay.
Just because Cincy gets lost in the jersey, and this thing, I mean, Brew Crew is down there too because it just looks like amateur hour.
Yep.
Cincy at least is sort of clean and futuristic in the font that they picked, but having the N split just makes it look like Roman numerals, CIII, you know, whatever that translates, 103 or something.
Maybe it's code. I don't know. Okay,
Yeah.
so are you going with Cincy as your least favorite then?
No, I'm going to go with this one, Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh. All right. I'm going Rangers. I hate that one.
Well,
I
Rangers
can
is.
find some redeeming qualities to the pug. I can't
Mhm.
with the Rangers because it's just like too many things.
No, so Rangers is down there for me as well, just because it's such. Yeah, because like the TX, you think, well, that's not even like an old Western, because
Yeah.
you see it, you think, oh, it's Old West. That's what it is. Then you look at it, you're like, nah, it's like old Gothic. It's Gothic West. It's Western Gothic, whatever in the hell that is. That's no, it's
Stone
got a
FX.
spur. I don't know what the fuck that is.
Yeah, and then there's the thing on the sleeve and the shitty number on the chest.
Mhm.
That's the worst one for me.
This one at
And it's
least
not
has
just
some
because I'm bitter.
cohesion to it.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
if
I
they,
mean,
and if they wore the pillbox hats, that actually would be kind of cool.
I keep waiting for them to bring those back. I
This
really
would be
wish
the
they would.
jersey to bring it back with, and
They would.
that change alone would actually make you kind of look at this one and go, you know, it's not so bad. And I think if they change PGH to Bucks or something instead of,
Yeah. All
so
right.
yeah,
So
so I mean, the bottom couple to me are Pittsburgh, Cincy, the Rangers. Um, you know, uh, those are the bottom three. I don't think I have like a bottom five.
that's
Uh,
fine. For me, it's definitely Texas, Milwaukee, and I hate the Dodgers just
oh yeah, yeah, I forgot
because
about
it's
them.
so damn lazy.
Yeah, that one is
There's no point in that one. It's just
Los Dodgers.
yeah,
That's
that's
yeah.
just incredible. That's just a cash grab. That's just a lazy cash grab. That's all that is.
Well, and I just can't. I mean, God, there's so much to LA. Fuck, do Dragnet. Put a big badge on it. You know,
Shit, do the Hollywood side. Just do Dodgers with like
in
the
the Hollywood
Hollywood side
sign font. Wait a minute. Do it
and
like
stagger them.
stagger them. Yeah.
I
Okay.
mean,
Yeah, that'll work.
and
I
put
like.
like
I
a
like.
on the hat, put like a Walk of Fame star with the LA in it.
Oh shit. That would have
I
been.
just I just fixed it.
You just fixed it. I like it. Call up Nike. Let's get us a contract.
Can we proofread these for you, please?
Yeah, would you
Um,
run these by us? Just run it through the mill. Just we'll focus group this for you.
all right. So, all right, we've talked about our least favorites. Favorites. Go ahead, Homer.
Um, no, actually, the Royals is that top like five ish top.
Uh-huh.
It's um Miami is in there.
Yeah.
Uh, I like Miami. I like Baltimore. I like Boston.
I like Baltimore just because it's so different with that little pop of color on the cuff. I do like that a lot.
Yeah, and some people, like I said, I think it'd be miserable to play in. And I know that if you're like to go to a game and you're in a all black jersey, oh, and fucking the White Sox. Uh,
You're trying to block that out of your mind.
but I mean, in terms of what is like the most successful ones, yes, I think Miami is successful. I think Boston is successful. I know you disagree. I think Chicago is very successful.
I
Um,
think both Chicago's are really good.
they're both good. The Wrigleyville one, I'm just weirded out by the Wrigleyville type of
That's
thing.
fair.
I just kind of feel, I mean, your other choices around the ballpark are Boys Town. That's not going to fly.
I
Um,
really like the Angels one a lot.
the Angels one is see that the Angels, Wrigleyville, the Royals fall into that second group. That one of those is probably, depending on my mood, could fall into that top five.
Right.
Uh,
Of course,
uh,
I like the Atlanta one. We discussed that at length.
and see, Atlanta to me and Seattle are kind of they're upper middle for me,
Yeah, that's fair.
just because
I,
they
I'm with
just
you.
kind
I
of went
think
back. They went back. They didn't really redesign. They really didn't rework anything, but
yeah,
they picked successful
I'm
designs.
with you. I think the best one's the Miami one. I because it's so
Clean and vibrant.
clean, cohesive, and the design elements are unique. like I said, when we were talking about it, that wide stripe on that jersey just
Mhm.
really sticks in my head as a really cool feature that you don't see in a baseball uniform. They're always such tight stripes. That wide stripe on that red just really worked for me. So I'm leaning toward the Miami one.
Mhm. Padres, middle, lower, kind of. It could
Yeah,
drop in and out
yeah,
of the top depending on what they do next season with
yeah. If they tightened it up, like I said, if they just went with the blue and the pink, it just like leaned into the pastel. Picked even if they just picked a
2.
couple of the colors.
Mhm,
I don't care which two, quite frankly.
mhm.
Just pick two.
Yeah.
You don't need 8 fluorescent colors on your jersey.
No, that's a little much, and it hurts and that's, like, again, that's what I was expecting Miami to do, and so, very surprised and pleased with what the direction that Miami went.
Yeah, yeah. Um,
And then the Rockies are okay. Like I said, it's one of those where you look at it, you're like, "That's a cool design," unless you're from Colorado and you're like, "It's a license plate."
I did
So
not
kinda
know
go
that.
back
See,
and
that
forth.
changes my view of that one. Yeah.
Mhm.
So,
Uh,
do we know what teams are adding for 2024 yet?
no, I tried to I kinda poked around a little bit to see if there's anything out there, and I didn't find anything.
I can't
Uh,
believe that New York's going to let LA get away with having two and them having none.
well, like, okay, so Funko did, baseball major league mascots,
Hmm.
and they did all the teams. I think they did 24, 26 of these mascots, and, like, the teams that didn't have one were the Yankees, the Cubs, the Indian Guardians. No, they had one for the Indians. It was, anyway, there's a handful that didn't participate, so it's kinda like, would the Yankees participate? And I think your idea of, like, you know, a dark blue that said Bronx across it would actually work for them,
Hmm.
you know? Which means then, they'll probably do.
Okay, can I go one step further? And
Mhm.
you're probably going to hate this. What if it did it Bronx in like a graffiti font,
I don't hate that. That
or maybe like the NY as like a graffiti on the hat or something? I don't know.
graffiti fonts are cool looking. They're hard to read. They can be hard to read.
Yeah,
So, like,
agreed. Agreed.
yeah, and so that's the only reason that I would have a problem with them doing, like, a graffiti font on there. I feel like they should do something bold, like a bold font, but a
Okay.
clean font that just basically pushes that Bronx, like, right in your face,
Yeah, that was my
you know?
initial thought. Was it needs to be, yeah, just
Mhm.
aggressively New York. Yeah. So.
Yeah. So it looks like it. Yeah. Big old fuck off on the sleeve.
Eh,
Hey,
that's
ooh,
the hat.
that's the hat.
Eh.
This, yeah. But no, that would work. That would be cool. That would be simple. And I think seeing as how they've done some of the simpler uniforms, that would be pretty easy to do.
Yeah.
Uh, Minnesota with the Twins, that could be interesting to see. But like the Twins, I've always like when Minnesota comes to town, all of their jerseys look great. They've got that
Mhm.
gray, that dark bluish gray, a navy, maroon red, and white, and they can mix those up in such a way that almost all of their jerseys look good.
Yeah.
Toronto's very similar way. The dark blue with that pop of red.
So
Uh,
we're missing
Mets,
Toronto, the two New Yorks,
Detroit.
Detroit, Cleveland.
Hmm. Yeah, their throwbacks will be Chief Wahoo.
To me, the Indians. Yeah. Yeah. The
We're going
old Chief
the
Wahoo.
old Chief Wahoo
The
that
one
looks
is
like
less caricature.
and more like somebody just drew it on a napkin. Yes, yes, yes.
uh, I think we're
Um,
missing one more.
yeah, they've done 20, so there's 10 teams without.
Did all the California teams? You did the
No,
Mariners.
they haven't done the A's.
Oh, it's true. Yeah,
But they're gonna move to Vegas and they'll
that's
do
right.
something there. They'll end up with the mariachis or isotopes or aliens or some crazy ass shit if they don't change the name.
All they have to do is make them the Aces, and they can keep the A.
Yeah, but I think their women's basketball team's that. Not that anybody cares.
It's okay.
Yeah, it's WNBA. Who cares? Um, Yeah, so the A's don't have one. New York, Toronto,
Tampa,
Detroit.
Tampa.
Tampa doesn't have one. Shit.
We're at about 6, so we're doing pretty good.
Yeah, yeah, I know.
I'm done. It's late. My time change is kicking
Only
in.
Cox. Yeah, Minnesota doesn't have one.
Yeah.
So Cleveland, Minnesota, Detroit don't have one. Toronto doesn't have one. New York, Tampa. So
Oakland.
that's Oakland. So that's
8.
8. What teams are we forgetting? Oh, Phillies.
Phillies. Yep. Okay, we got one. We're missing one. It's got to be in that northeastern cluster. We're missing somebody.
Yeah. Oh well.
Whatever.
Not
We'll
that
think
important.
of it. I'm not going to look it up, but whatever. I don't know what it is. So whatever. Hey, do you have anything on your desk?
Do I have anything on my desk?
It's okay if you don't.
No, I don't. Not today.
Okay, well, I have something.
Because I've got a bunch of shit that I'm selling, so it's like that doesn't really count.
Well, we've talked about this particular item several times on the podcast, and since I'm up here instead of in the garage, I had access to it. So,
Oh man, what is we got? Oh, the year-and-a-half long Bill Sienkiewicz.
question photo artwork.
Nice.
So that's what I
yeah.
ended up getting. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, you know what? I didn't ever see it, and I cannot believe that it took him a year and a half to do that.
He also sent me an acetate, which is not whatever blur I've got on here is not
Yeah,
from one of the
but it's
covers.
the head. Yeah, nice.
The banner from one of the So that's the question question artwork that took forever to get, but it's pretty cool. Laura hates it.
No, that's very cool. What?
Laura hates it.
How come?
She doesn't get it.
Why doesn't he have a face? Well, that's his thing.
Exactly.
He doesn't have a face.
Why
is there a big question mark? That's his thing.
It's the question. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we just dissected City Connect for you. Gave our thoughts and opinions, varied and insightful as they were. And I think that's it, man. I think it's a solid episode. You got chicharrones? I got
the chicharrones, which I bought the hat before they became a Kansas City minor league affiliate.
Nice. Well, we are. Like I said, I live in a minor league town now, and of course, our minor league team is way on the north side of town, which just makes it inconvenient to get to. And one of these days, I'm going to get to a game when they play as their Copa team, which is the Chupacabras.
Oh, nice.
Yes.
Get some merch, baby. Get some merch.
We were spitballing ideas at work the other day because it's going to be the 60th anniversary of the Austin Apartment Association next year. And one of my teammates said, "Oh, well, I looked it up. The 60th is the diamond anniversary." I said, "Well, you know what else has diamonds? Go to a baseball game."
Absolutely.
Make it a family outing. Anyway, so I pitched that. So
that's a good one. My ear itches, and I got to get to it through the headphones.
That's fair. All right, so we're at an hour and a half. I think we're done. That's episode 67.
Yes, if people tune in, they're going to get they're going to get us bitching about clothing. So haberdashery night is over.
Unexpected, to say the least, based on our previous podcast.
Yeah, this one is actually centered around a theme, coherent and focused. I was going to try to explain to somebody like how, we were talking about this, and the next thing you know, we did this and this and this, and then we're doing this, and then we got onto the Charlie Chan cartoon, and they're like, "How did you get to the Charlie Chan cartoon?" I go, something about diversity and trying to imagine what the brainstorming session like that looked like. Kids love crime. Kids love mystery. Kids love Chinamen. What?
They love the Chopsaki movies.
They love the Chopsaki.
We'll give them an old fat Chinese guy. Yeah.
Just no Chopsaki. Let's save that for the dog, who's a janitor.
Oh, so you're saying Hong Kong food was a spinoff?
Yeah, maybe so. Maybe, I don't know.
Hmm.
How did that one come
Investigations.
about? That you put the dog in a kimono and I will give him the chop suey rato cha chop.
Yeah, and
Just
his
let
cat will be
Scatman
voiced.
Crothers go nuts.
Yes, Scatman Crothers. Yes.
Chooby
Yes.
dooby 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 chop suey.
Oh my
Yeah, I've
god.
had people tell me they're like, "That's so racist." I'm like, no, it's not. It's goofy. It's just
Yes.
goofy.
You lighten up.
Yeah. Oh, it's
Lighten
the
up.
Scat Man.
That's
Doobity
my
doo wah
advice as
wah.
we that's how I'm gonna end my advice as we end this one. Is just everybody lighten up, okay?
There we go.
Everybody lighten the fuck up. And with
Absolutely.
that piece of brilliant knowledge, that's it for episode of 67 Slurp Toast, the podcast. I'm still Bruce,
I'm still Steve.
and we will see you guys in a couple of weeks.
Yep. Bye.
Bye.